All right, seeing as how it is 8 p.m., we'll go ahead and get started. All of you should have been notified when you were logging in that the meeting is being recorded. For those who aren't able to attend tonight, either due to work conflicts, game conflicts, family conflicts, etc. So if you want to turn your camera off, feel free. If you want to turn your camera on, that's fine too. Just know that the meeting is being recorded and we will load it up on our YouTube page the next day. I would like to just give a couple brief announcements real quick. Uh, is that we are in the midst of updating MIGs. Some of you may have noticed that your MIGs might have already been updated, especially if like you've worked softball and stuff and attended the last meeting. But I will be sending an email out around Wednesday or Thursday to have everybody double check their MIGs. And if for some reason you think you should be a member in good standing with the MDAO, but are not on the MHSAA website, please email either Mike Schramm or myself, or send an email to Metro Detroit Athletic Officials at gmail.com and say, hey, FYI, I pay my dues. I attended a couple of meetings for baseball and or softball. I'm not MIGs. Could you please double check your records? And we'll get it taken care of. It's my understanding that for baseball, softball, and I would love it if somebody could unmute or give a thumbs up that this is correct, because I do not get these emails from MHSAA since I'm not registered, that the final drop dead due date for all of those items is April 10th. Is that correct? No. Bob shaking his head no. Does anybody
Baseball's
know?
the 17th.
It's the 17th. Okay. So that, what does that mean? That's everything from uh, you know, turning in your schedule to the rules presentation. Of course, you shouldn't be working games if you haven't yet watched the rules presentation. To if you're interested in working quarterfinals or above, get the test that Paul's going to go over turned in and submitted online on the MHSAA website, and all those good, and make sure you're a member in good standing. So with that said, I'll just pause real quickly. If anybody has any administrative, logistical questions for baseball regarding the association, I'm just going to pause real quick.
Excuse me, Shane.
Yeah.
Originally tonight was going to be the third meeting for baseball. Is there going to be a third meeting scheduled?
No, due to the goof up and stuff, we're not going to have a third meeting for baseball or softball. So it will be it for tonight. So if you do have any good questions, about baseball, you can try to stump Paul. Sorry, Paul.
That's all right.
Uh,
It's always fun.
yeah. But yeah, good question.
Shane, Martell's waiting in the waiting room. He said if you could let him in.
Oops. Thank you.
No problem.
Yep. There we go. They're all coming in. All right, so you will see me. I will turn off my camera, I will mute myself, and I will be both in and out of the meeting. But if anybody has any questions for me, whether it's MIGs or anything else after the fact, feel free to go ahead and shoot me an email. I will pop back on every now and then and double check to make sure people get into the meeting.
Do I have control? Do I have the ball?
You do. I will. You should have the ability, if you want to share screen, you should be able to share your screen. And I will hang out to make sure that you can do all that stuff.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, well, let's not do that. Let's fix that. Multiple participants can share advanced sharing. Okay, multiple people can share. Advanced sharing options. Who can share? All participants. Okay.
I think I'm in.
Yep, you should be able to share now. All right.
Okay.
To Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Well, thank you. Can everybody see my screen? I just want to do something really quick.
Yeah.
So if you care about your ratings and you go through games and you see, yeah, the game went pretty smooth, and your ratings come back and they don't. So when they rate you, we have the ability to rate the coaches. So if you go after you sign on, I've signed on already, and you come to come to official services. If you go down to the bottom and you see school sportsmanship feedback. So when it comes up, all you have to do is go in and say something like baseball and Livonia, if you type it right, Livonia Stevenson. They're the whole school tonight. And it's the first. And you say varsity. Okay, how were the kids tonight? The kids were, I didn't have any problems. How was the coaching staff? I didn't have any problems. Okay, so again, they rate you on one call. I strongly recommend you rating them on one call also. So they know how it feels. And then you press the save button. But that's my opinion. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So anyways, again, my name's Paul Oshansky. I am your baseball trainer. That's been a long time. So if you need to get to the test, we're going to start. We click on officials. If you want to see the exam before you actually have to take it. So we're going to go to officials. We're going to come down to sport specific information on the right. Click on that. Come down to baseball. Click on that. Come all the way down to where you see 2024 umpires exam for postseason consideration. So we're going to click on that. And over to your right here, you can see the little print button. You'd be able to print it if you want. So this is how you would print it. So next year, if you don't know if this is the first time doing it, next year, this is how it'll be. It'll be the 2025 baseball exam. Okay, so before we get started, after I will, if anyone wants me to, I'll go through what you have to do in order to be available for anything greater than the districts. So it'll be your availabilities and conflicts, your schedule. You know, hey, where do I look for MIGs? And I think there's one more. And you know, okay, how do I put the exam in? So actually answer the questions. So I don't do this for a living. So when I get sidetracked or off pace, someone stop me and say, hey, one, I have a question, or two, hey, you're off topic, man. So here we go. So question number one, if someone would like to answer the question after I get done with, I'm going to do question number one. So after I get done with number one, say, hey, I want to answer question number two. Otherwise, stay on mute. We'll just go through this. If anybody has any questions, please stop me. You won't upset me. So okay, so first question. Courtesy runner runs for R1 and later in that same half inning runs for R2. What is the ruling? So is it A, illegal substitution C1 is declared out? B, illegal substitution C1 is declared out and restricted? C, illegal substitution C1 is declared out and ejected? D, replace C1 with C2, who would run for, I guess, the catcher with no penalty. Anyways, correct answer is B, illegal substitution. We're going to call C1 out and restrict that person to the dugout. Okay, the first thing that should happen is, coach, he's already running for somebody this half inning. If he runs for somebody else, I got to call him out, then restrict him to the dugout. Don't let the coaches make the obvious mistake. Comments, questions? Everybody okay with that? Okay, on to number two. The count is 2-2, and B1 swings at an inside fastball. As he swings at the pitch, the ball hits his hands on the bat and the ball rolls toward the pitcher in fair territory. The correct call is A, fair ball, the ball remains in play. B, foul ball, the batter remains at bat with a 2-2 count. C, hit by pitch, send the batter to first base. D, dead ball, the batter is charged with a strike. Since the count was 2-2, he is declared out. Okay. So this is one of the things I've had on in the past. So the correct answer is D, delta. Dead ball, the batter is charged with a strike. Since the count was 2-2, he is declared out. Questions on that one? That one's a little off the wall. So, okay. Let's see if I can get this up to the top. There we go. B3. Number 3. B1 hits a line drive back at the pitcher. Without touching anyone, the ball hits the rubber and deflects directly into the first base dugout. The correct call is it A, foul ball, B, ground rule double, put B1 on second base, C, ball is dead, award B1 first base? Okay, the correct answer is A, it's a foul ball. So it didn't hit anybody in live ball territory. It didn't make it past first or third base. Didn't hit it. It didn't make it past first or third base in fair territory. So it's a foul ball. Okay, number 4. A wristband with defensive alignments or offensive plays worn by the pitcher must be A, a single color and worn on the non-pitching arm. B, must match the uniform color. C, can be worn on the belt to be non-distracting to the batter. D, it is illegal for the pitcher to wear a wristband. Okay, the correct answer to number 4 is A, a single color and worn on the non-pitching arm. Any questions on number 4? Okay, number 5. The following is illegal when using electronic coach to catcher communication system. So this is the new stuff this year. So A, the coach talks in earpiece to call pitches. B, the catcher wears a wristband that accepts signals from the dugout. C, the coach calls pitches from outside the dugout area using the system. D, the catcher has the system on when in a conference at the mound with the pitcher. Okay, since this is brand new this year. Okay, the coach cannot, it's letter C, Charlie. The coach cannot call pitches. Yeah, the coach calls pitches from outside the dugout area using the system. So I wouldn't cut hairs, but try and keep them in the dugout or as close to the dugout as you can get them. Questions or comments on number 5? Let me get some water here. Okay, number 6. Bottom of the second inning, no outs, no runners on base with a 2-1 count. B2 hits a line drive directly off the pitcher's rubber, and the ball rebounds to the second baseman in the air. What is the correct ruling? Okay, is it A, B1 is out as the second baseman caught the ball in the air? B, B2 is not out yet as the second baseman would need to throw to first base to retire B2 as this is considered a ground ball. Or C, foul ball. As soon as the ball strikes the pitcher's rubber, the ball is dead. So we know it's not C. So 6 would be, it's either A or B. So it's B, bravo. B2 is not out. This is like a ground ball. And it just deflected, just hit the ground and went to the second baseman who had to throw it to first. Questions on number 6? Okay, on to number 7. The game has been played in a constant drizzle. During the pitching change in the 4th inning, The plate umpire sees a distant flash of lightning and hears muzzled thunder. The home team administrator immediately approaches the umpire and tells him that lightning is at least 20 miles away, according to his weather radar tracking system in the school, and the game should proceed. So, is it A, the umpires must stop the game for at least 30 minutes? If there is any further lightning or thunder, the 30-minute clock restarts. B, the home administrator is sole decision maker. C, the umpires can play an additional 30 minutes. D, the umpire should get both coaches together. So, as this has been around for a long time, so it's A, alpha. The umpires must stop the game for at least 30 minutes. If there is any further lightning or thunder, reset the clock. So don't let anyone talk. Don't let anyone talk you into keep going. Stop the game, because if someone gets hurt, you get to be able to talk to the lawyers, and we don't want to talk to lawyers if we don't have to. So err on the side of safety. So again, 7 is A.
Hey, Paul,
Yes.
somebody's got their mic on. I can hear something in the background every once in a while.
If you're not talking, please mute yourself. I don't know if I
Thanks.
can. If I can, I will. Okay, let's give it a try and see if I can close out of this now. All right, number 8. The batter hits the ground ball to shortstop. As the ball is hit, the end cap of the bat comes loose and flies toward the shortstop. This distracts the shortstop, and he is unable to make a play on this seemingly routine ground ball. A, the ball remains live and in play. B, this is interference. The umpire shall call the batter out. C, time should be immediately called when the bat breaks apart. Turn the batter to the box, and he will hit again. Or D, the coach and player are ejected for illegal equipment. So, like I always say, don't let anybody get away with anything. But in this case, to me, from the way it's worded, it's like a broken bat. In the old days, if you remember wood bats, it would fly at somebody and it would definitely distract you. So this is just A, the ball remains live and in play. So A alpha for this one. Again, if someone's trying to get away with something, please stop it. Questions on number 8? Okay, number 9. R3 on third, 2 outs. 0-2 count on B7. B7 swings and missed on a curveball in the dirt, and it gets away from the catcher to the backstop. B7 is angry at himself and begins to take 3 steps toward his dugout when he realizes he can advance to first. As B7 now sprints toward first base, R3 touches home plate. Catcher gets the ball and fires to first base, just retiring B7 on a very close play for the third out. What is the correct ruling on the play? So, is it A, call B7 out for leaving the baseline when he started toward his dugout? B, B7 is out at first for the third out since R3's run at this time is a time score R3's run as this is a timing play. C, B7 is out at first for the third out. No runs can score on the play. So 9 is letter C. B7 never acquired first base. So that's the third out and no runs can score on the play. In the summertime rules are a little different. So make sure you're sharp if you're going to work in the summer. Okay, on to number 10. R1 on first, no outs. The pitcher fails to stop as he delivers to home, and the base umpire correctly calls balk. B1 attempts to bunt and pops the ball up the pitcher. Pitcher then throws wildly to first in an attempt to double off R1. R1 advances a second on the errant throw. Is it A, the ball is dead immediately when the balk is called? B, the ball is dead when the pop-up is caught? C, the ball remains live since the pitcher threw the ball away. The runner can advance at his own risk. Or D, the offensive coach has the option. So for high school ball, or federation rules, ball is dead immediately when the balk is called. So that's letter A. So same as number 9. Make sure you know what rule book you're using if you're in the summer, if you're working summer ball. So number 10 is A. Questions on 10? Okay, on to number 11. The offensive team may only replace an improper batter before the first pitch, play, or attempted play to the batter. Okay, is it true or false? Anybody want to make an attempt on this?
False.
Thank you. Correct. It's B, false. So the pitcher has to actually face someone unless they're injured. So again, remember they're kids. If they're hurt, they're hurt. But again, don't let anybody get away with anything.
Well, I think this is about an improper batter, like for bailing out or for
Yeah,
purpose.
yes. I was just trying to give you the opposite of it. So yes, if you have a correct. So thank you. I didn't really read close into this. So questions on number 11? Okay, number 12. Well, let's go back to number 11 since I'm having my brain's in lock mode. So it's going to be it's going to be the pitch to the next batter. So if you have an improp, let's go off the board here. So if you have a bad play, if you have the wrong batter up, the defense has to acknowledge it before there's a pitch to the next batter. They can replace an improper batter at any time, and that improper batter will assume the count that's on that is standing. So if it's 2-1, it's 2-1. It's just get ready. Here it comes. So that's number 11. Hopefully that helps. If it doesn't help, please let me know. So number 12, the position of the pitcher's blank determines the windup or set position. So is it A, non-pivot foot, B, pivot foot, C, shoulders, D, hands? So number 12 is B, pivot foot. So however the pitcher addresses the rubber is whether he's in the windup or the set position. Questions on 12? Okay, on to 13. R3, 1 out. The count is 3-1. The next pitch bounces in the dirt for ball 4 and ends up lodged under the catcher's chest protector. Is it A, the ball is dead and the batter is awarded first base? R3 remains at third base? B, the ball is dead, the batter is awarded first base, and R3 is awarded home? C, the ball is dead, the batter is awarded second base, and R3 is awarded home? D, the ball is dead and the batter remains at the plate, R3 is awarded home? So the answer to 13 is B, bravo. The ball is dead, the batter is awarded first base, and R3 is awarded home. So anytime a ball from a pitch from the rubber becomes dead, lodged, it's one base for everybody. It's one base for everybody that's on base. Or since this is ball 4 on the batter, then he gets first. So we don't give, if it's 2-1 and it rolls out of play, it's now 3-1. But since it was 3-1 ball 4, so it's dead and he gets first base. Questions on 13?
What did you say the answer was?
Answer for 13 is B. Bravo.
Okay.
So everybody gets one base. Ball's dead. Runner is awarded first, and R3 is awarded home. Please go on mute if you're not on mute. Okay, number 14. R1, the batter hits a low line drive to the first baseman. The first baseman short hops the ball for no catch. The runner on first, believing the line drive would be caught, returns to first base. The first baseman touches first base before the batter reaches first, then tags a runner who is now standing on first base. Okay, is this A, this is a double play and the runner was forced to run? B, the batter runner is only out because the force was removed when the batter runner was put out? C, this is interference by R1 and both B1 and the batter runners are declared out? Or D, none? Okay, since the first baseman touched the base first before he touched the runner, and he removed the force on the runner. So, and by the time he touched the runner was on the base. So the correct answer is B. The batter runner is only out because the force was removed when the batter runner was put out. Questions on 14? Okay, 15. R1, R2, 2 outs. B5 lofts a long fly ball just inside the left field foul line, fair by inches. F7 reaches to catch the fly ball, but his reach comes up just short and the ball ricochets off his glove over the fence in foul territory. Notice it says foul territory. So, okay, is the answer A, home run, B, foul ball, C, the batter is awarded second base, D, the batter is credited with a single, R2 scores, and R1 advances to third. So the correct answer is C, the batter is awarded second base. And make sure he touches first base. If he doesn't touch first base, then the defense can appeal. And if they appeal properly, then you have one less out you have to worry about. But you're going to have a lot of conversations. But the correct answer to 15 is C, Charlie. All right, 16. R1 on first, 2 outs. Batter hits a pop fly behind the catcher, which is caught for the third out. As the defense begins to run off the field, the offensive coach appeals to the umpire that the ball was caught with an illegal glove. The catcher was using a first baseman's mitt. So 16, no, I'm sorry. First, is it A, illegal glove? The illegal glove is removed from the game. B, the illegal glove is removed from the game. However, the out stands. C, the glove is legal for first base only. D, the glove is legal and the out stands. Okay, so a few years ago, they removed the requirement for all gloves. So the correct answer to 16 is D, delta. The glove is legal and the out stands. And I don't know this in the summer, if there's a summer rule on this, so you might have to look into that. Questions on 16?
So any fielder, shortstop, left fielder, pitcher can use a first baseman's glove in the field.
Correct. All gloves are legal now that meet the size and width restrictions. But yes, if it's a legal glove, anybody can use a legal glove for any position. If I'm the catcher, I would not want to use a first baseman's glove, but not my idea. Does that help out? Okay, number 17. 17. What is a true statement regarding non-wood bats? A, non-wood bats are not permitted by rule. B, in order to be legal, non-wood bats must have the BB Corps certification mark. C, in order to be legal, non-wood bats must have both the BB Corps and Beezer certification marks. So 17. And if 17 is B, bravo. In order to be legal, non-wood bats must have the BB Corps certification mark. So the Beezer signal went out a few years ago. Now we need the BB Corps. Again, I would not go looking for any trouble, but don't poke the bear. Don't let anybody get away with anything, but if you notice a bat that's illegal, remove it from the game so you don't have to worry about it. Questions on 17? Okay, on to 18. R1 is on first with one out. B3 hits a fly ball to deep right, and R1 takes off immediately on contact. The right fielder makes a diving catch for the second out while R1 is scrambling to get back to first. The right fielder gets up and, seeing R1 racing back toward first, unleashes a throw that lands over the first baseman into the dugout into dead ball territory, of course. At the time of the throw, R1 is roughly 30 feet from first base. Where is R1 placed? Okay, do we put a, is it A, first base, B, second base, C, third base, or score the run? So any throw from the outfield is two bases from the time of the release. So R1 had acquired first base, so we give R1 third base. R1 must tag first, then touch second in order to get third base legally without being put out. So that if he doesn't touch first or second, then then the defense can't appeal. So make sure he touches first and second since the right fielder caught it. So number 18 is C, Charlie. Questions on 18? Okay, on to 19. With R1 on first, R3 gets an apparent extra base hit. As R1 rounds second, he is obstructed by the shortstop and knocked down. Not seeing R1 down, B6 then passes R1. The offensive coach then directs B6 to return to second and stand on second base. So I'm not going to confuse anybody on this one. I'm just going to go right to D. The correct answer is D. Because R1 is obstructed, B6 is not penalized for passing R1. When play is ceased, the umpires will award whatever bases they believe R1 and B6 would have gained without the obstruction. R1 must be awarded a minimum of one base. So if you think R1 would have scored, let him score and put the batter on third base. Otherwise, put the runners at second and third. But it's entirely your opinion, your judgment on where to put the runners. I would get with my the base and plate umpire should get together to make sure you both are on the same page on where you should put the runners. But don't have too long of a conversation about it. Whoever feels they have, I got it. Whoever has the I got it moment, go with that person. That's my opinion, at least. So don't argue about it. Just put the guys on the bases and move on. Does anybody have any suggestions on this one? I've never seen this, so, and I hope I never do, but if you have an idea that might work, but if you work basketball, when somebody comes to you and says, hey, you pointed the wrong way, just change it. So one of you have an idea, say, hey, I think the guy that was obstructed would have scored and the batter would have been at third. Do that. If I don't know if he would have scored. Well, I would have let him. I'd let him score since the shortstop knocked him down. But that's me. That's 19. What? Speak up if you have an opinion. So number 20, runner on
Hey,
third, the pitcher in the windup. Pitcher
Paul?
begins.
Paul,
Yes, please.
what's the difference between A and D on number 18? Or are we on 19?
We were on 19.
So what's the difference between A and D? Because they sound both the same.
Well, you don't call timeout immediately.
So
So
when obstruction, you don't stop play when it's obstruction? Ball's not immediately dead?
Only if you have an out. Only if you have to award a base right now. So, so technically, the shortstop could have knocked the runner down. He could have got up, touched third, and then touched home. And then the batter could have been thrown out at third. Technically, that possibly could happen. The ball could have been rolling around. The right fielder could have fallen down. The runner could have got up, touched third, scored. Then they relay it to third, and they get the batter out at third. He was not obstructed, so you just can't run until you're out, right? So if it's between first and second, let's say it's a runner at first, and there's a ground ball to right field. So, and the right fielder's got it, and they knock the runner down going to second. Well, he's not going to go to third. Well, he goes to third. He makes it to third. Then he rounds third and he starts to head home and he's out by, 30 feet. So
The question is, Paul, in an obstruction, the ball is not immediately dead.
correct.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, obstruction is always a delayed dead ball.
Delayed dead ball.
Correct.
Okay. So interference is where it's immediately dead.
Yes, because the runner knocked the fielder down.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, number 20. Runner on third, the pitcher in the windup. F1 begins to bring his hands up as if to begin his windup and then steps back off the rubber with his pivot foot. He then throws to third in an attempt to pick off R3. This is A, legal play because he threw to third. B, legal play as it does not matter what base he throws toward. C, call timeout and tell the catcher while cleaning up the plate that the next time the pitcher does that, you will balk him. Or D, balk. So officiate to the level of the game you're playing. So if he picks the guy off, it's a balk. If he doesn't, you might want to do this clean the plate off thing. Depends on how people are treating you at that time and the level of the play. So if you're working a high class A game and this happens, yeah, it's going to be a balk. If you're working a below D game and the kid doesn't know what he's doing, nobody knows what they're doing except you and your partner, officiate to the level of the play. But the correct answer is D. It's a balk. Again, do what you have to do, and it's your choice. But try not to. If it's 16-1, don't poke the bear, because once you poke the bear, it becomes the rest of the game becomes very, very long. Anybody have any questions? Okay, that's 20. On to 21. R1 on first. R3 on third, no outs. Ground ball is hit to the shortstop, and the defense begins to turn the double play. R1 slides illegally at second base, sliding beyond second and creating a great deal of contact What is the correct ruling? So I'm not going to go through this either. I'm just going to go right to the letter D, delta. Interference on R1 because of the forced play slide rule. R1 is called out. Add a runner is called out. R3 goes back to third. So anything that's illegal, you're going to kill it. You get as many outs as you can get. So, no pop-up slides, no sliding past the base. And I would give, if they're playing on turf, I'd give them a little bit on that. And C, no high spikes. No high spikes. And I mean by high spikes above the knee. So 21 is D, delta. Questions on 21? Okay, so back to 21 real quick. So we don't want anybody to get hurt. This is all 21 is talking about, is trying to prevent someone from being hurt. So on to 22. What is the MHSA policy on umpire attire? A, umpires can wear any color combination as long as the crew of umpires match. B, umpires can wear blue only, navy, or powder, and the crew of umpires must match. C, umpires can wear blue, black, red only. The crew of umpires must match. So 22 is B, bravo. We can only wear blue, navy or powder blue, and the crew and the 2 or 3 umpires have to have the same colors. Questions on 22?
Paul, do you have a problem with your partners wearing black when it's snowing out there?
If it's snowing, whatever you got to do to
Stay warm.
survive. To me, it's survival mode. So, but what are you going to do? Do you want to work the game by yourself if
Nope.
he's wearing black? But hopefully they won't. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But
All right.
do the best you can. It is what it is. Be as warm as you can because there's only so many of us. And if you get sick, it's April 1st and you get sick and can't work until May 15th because you want to look good. Well, that's going to put a lot of people in a tough situation. So stay as warm as you can, especially now, as dry as you can. Do the best you can. Get through the games the best you can. Okay, 23. For a catcher's helmet mask combination to be legal, it must meet the following requirements. Is it A, the mask must be a hockey style helmet designed that is one combination piece? B, the mask helmet must be a 2-piece design with a mask and helmet that covers most of the catcher's head. C, the mask helmet can be either the 1-piece or 2-piece design, but in either case, the helmet must cover the ears of the catcher. So, okay, the correct answer for 23 is C, Charlie. The mask helmet can be either the 1-piece or 2-piece design, but in either case, the helmet must cover the ears of the catcher. So I have never seen a 2-piece that covers the ear of the catcher. I'm sure they're out there somewhere, but I've never seen one. So just hope everybody's got the hockey style and go from there. Any questions on 23? Okay, 24. Regarding appeals when the ball is dead. A, the coach must make a dead ball appeal. B, any defensive player with or without the ball may make a dead ball appeal. C, a dead ball appeal is not possible. Or D, both A and B. So 24 is D delta, both A and B. Anybody can make a dead ball appeal. And any defensive player may make a live or dead ball appeal. So if you have, my only concern with this is always if you have more than one runner by a base, they have to tell you which runner it is, right? So that's my opinion. I know it's one less out, but If you got two people passing second base and they go stand on second base and they don't say, hey, the first runner or the second runner, my opinion, but like I said, it's one less out. So 24 is D, Delta. Questions or comments on 24? Okay, 25. R3 and 1 out. R3 is attempting to score on a pass ball. B4 is still standing in the batter's box, even though there's time for him to move out of the pitcher's way. As the play develop, B4 unintentionally hinders the catcher's throw to the pitcher who is covering the plate. So like I always say, this is why we get paid the big bucks. So is it A, B4 is out and R3 scores? B, R3 is out and B4 remains at the plate? C, B4 has the right to remain stationary in the batter's box after the pitch has been caught. So we know it's not C. Got to try and get out of the way. Hopefully they don't interfere. And even if they don't mean to interfere, but they do, we have to do what we have to do. So this one, number 25, is B, Bravo. R3 is out and B4 remains at the plate. Okay, same question. If there's two outs, okay, if there's two outs, we're going to get the batter and end the inning. Since there's one out, we're going to get the runner, and the batter stays. Questions on 25? Okay, on to 26. Which of the following results in a foul ball? A batted ball strikes the pitcher's rubber and rebounds into B1, who is injured on his swing and remains in the batter's box. B, a batted ball strikes a runner in fair territory and then goes to foul ground. C, a batted ball comes to rest on top of the plate. D, a batted ball strikes third base and goes into foul territory. So this one is A, alpha. So the batted ball strikes the pitcher's rubber and rebounds into B1, who is injured on a swing and remains in the batter's box. So it's not B, because a runner hit by a fair batted ball that a defensive person has a chance to make a play on. That's dead and out. The plate is in fair territory. If the ball strikes third base, it's definitely fair. So that leaves us with A. Questions on 26? Okay, 27. R1 is not stealing. Batter swings at an inside pitch and the ball hits his hands during the swing. The ball rolls toward the pitcher in fair ground. The pitcher throws the batter runner out at first base. All right, so we did this one already. So let's just go down to the correct answer, which is C, Charlie. This is a strike. The ball is dead immediately, and all runners must return to the base they had attained at the time of the pitch. If there's two strikes on the batter is out. Hopefully you don't see this more than once or twice a decade. So 27 is C, Charlie. Questions on 27? Okay, on to 28. R2 on second, R3 on third, 1 out. The batter hits a ground ball to the pitcher, and R3 gets in a rundown between home and third. R3 gets back to third safely, but R2 is touching the base as well. The defense tags both runners. Is it A, R3 is out because he was the first player tagged? B, R3 is safe and R2 is out because R3 has a right to third base until he touches home? C, R3 is out because once he headed for home, the base belongs to the trail runner. D, R2 is out because he was on second, because he was the second one tagged. So 28 is B, Bravo. R3 is safe and R2 is out because R3 has a right to third base until he touches home. So on to 29. Questions on 28. Okay, 29. R2, no outs. The catcher attempts to return the ball to the pitcher, but bumps the plate umpire, and the ball sails into center field. R2 breaks for third, but is thrown out. All right. So is this A, R2 is awarded third, B, the play stands, C, R2 is returned to second base because of the umpire's interference? So yes, kill this one right away if this somehow happens. It's C, Charlie. R2 is a return to second because of the umpire's interference. So just admit to it and move on. It happens. Be careful. Questions on 29. Okay, the last one. Obvious errors on a lineup card may be corrected before the game begins. The following are errors that may be corrected at the plate conference. A, listing only 8. B, listing 2 players with the same last name, with neither listing a first name nor initial. C, listing the same player twice. D, all of the above. So it'll be the answer for number 30 is D, Delta, all of the above. So hopefully we catch this before we get too far into the game. So remember, numbers, this is not basketball, so numbers don't matter. It's who the human being is in the uniform. So if they write the wrong name down, but they have the right person, it is what it is. Just fix it and move on. Questions on number 30? Questions on anything? Has anybody had a game besides me
Hey, Paul,
that
I
they'd
got
like
a
to talk? Please.
I got 3 questions, matter of fact. Let me give all 3 of them to you real quick. Number 2, in the test, the hands are not part of the bat anymore. The second question I have, let me give them all to you, and then that way it'll shorten the time. In the rule book, it says that when you have a field that you have to use an imaginary line for dead ball areas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It says that if the ball is caught in fair territory, but the player goes into the dead ball area, they are awarded 2 bases. Third question. It's starting to rain again, man. I mean, it looks like it's going to have rain all the doggone week, seems
Yes.
like. Are they thinking about doing any makeup games on Sunday?
Okay, let me do 3, 2, 1. So number 3, I would doubt it, but it's the coach's decision, or they could. I would doubt it, but most everybody, we don't normally play on a Sunday, but I have before. I mean, we've done tournaments. There used to be a bunch of tournaments, if it was Saturday, the makeup date was Sunday. But I wouldn't think a regular season game would be made up on Sunday.
I know I'm booked all week. The only day that I do have is a doggone Sunday.
Yeah, that's why Bob's like pulling well, he does have a full head of hair, but that's why he's pulling his hair out when it gets into like May, because they want to make up all the games and
Right.
we don't have umpires. So I would doubt a Sunday game would go, but don't quote me on that. Anything's possible.
Okay.
So does anybody want to go over the catch and carry rule for Joe?
John.
I'm sorry, John Adams.
Yeah, just treat it as you falling into the stands.
Yes,
So it is two bases.
Yes.
yes. So that's, we affectionately call that the catch and carry rule. So if you carry it out of play, sorry, it's two bases from the time the ball went dead.
Okay.
And the first one was, remind me.
Hands part of the bat.
Okay. So this is how it was explained to me about 30 years ago. The hands are part of the arm. So if your hands are on the bat and you're striking at it, is different than if you're trying to get out of the way and you pull the bat back. Now you're hit by pitch. If you're striking at it, now we have something different.
The hands have never been part of the bat.
Yes, the hands are part of the arms, but yes, the hands never part of the bat. If you're striking at it, then there's a rule to cover it. If it hits your hand, God forbid you ever see this. I don't believe I've ever seen it. But if you're trying to pull the bat back, it's an inside pitch and you're trying to get out of the way of it and hit your hands, then you get first base. If you're striking at it and it hits your hands, that's something different. Now it's dead and an automatic strike. Try not to get those two things confused.
So in question 2, I think it said something about them swinging and hitting the ball.
Yes, he's striking at it.
Striking at it, and it hit its hands and went to the pitcher.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a dead ball, and
yes, it's dead ball and it's an automatic strike. It's like he swung and missed. It's like he swung and missed.
Okay.
And the catcher caught it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Question. Can you hear me? This is Rick.
Yes, Rick.
Ideally, who is supposed to contact us, or if the game is rained out?
Okay, so ideally you'll get a cancellation email from Arbiter. That's ideal. So if you want to make sure, what I do is either the day of the game or the day before the game, I send an email to the athletic director and say, hey, is the game on as scheduled? If it cancels for any reason, please call me or email me. Usually, again, an ideal situation, they make a decision like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But you can call the school. I've called the school before if I can't get a hold of the AD, and they'll tell you, yes, the game's canceled, or they'll say, well, we haven't heard anything. So if you make it to the game, if you make it to the site, I don't know if I think we're allowed a certain amount of money for gas money, but don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure, but.
Paul, if I remember correctly, if you are not notified and you arrive at the game site and it can't be played, you get paid at least half.
Yeah, I'm sure we get something, but I mean, I don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, no.
Shut that damn dog up.
Anybody else?
This meeting's gone to the dogs.
Hey, Paul, I was logged off. It knocked me off. I had to reboot, so I missed question 8 and 9.
8 and 9. So 8 is A Alpha, and 9 is C Charlie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Paul, I always think that every year when you do this, you're doing a service to all of us. But I always think there should be at least one question that you don't provide the answer to and leave us all on our own. It's not that hard to find an answer.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay.
Thanks,
so,
Paul,
does
for all you
anybody else
do.
have any questions?
Appreciate your time.
Does anybody want me to go over what needs to be gone over for the tournament? Need one person to say yes.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do.
How do we get credit for the meeting?
In the chat, put your name and your number. Okay. All right. So let's head back. Okay. So, oh, I can move that. Cool. Okay. So everybody sees so you have to sign on, right? And then you come over to the red button, the My MHSAA button. Come down to My MHSAA Tools. And this is if you're online. So if you see your regular season requirements, right? So make sure you're registered, baseball. Make sure you got your rules meetings in. Green check box. So baseball, right? Got your exams, you got your MIGs, got your schedule in, you got your availability. There's no crews here. And you have at least 16 varsity ratings. So, okay, let's go do an in-depth. So we need to worry about exams. We need to worry about MIGs. We need to worry about scheduling and availability. So if you come down and there's postseason info. So if you come down to postseason info and we go to spring. So baseball is required 417. And I just want to point it out, softball's 410. Don't wait to the last minute. Please put your stuff in. So there's no problems. Okay, so back to the big red button that says My MHSAA. Let's see. All right. So then we click on the My MHSAA button again, and we click on official services. The first one up is availability and conflicts. We click on availability and conflicts. So as you can see from my football, I was available and not available on some. It'll default to not available on all of them. So if you don't put baseball in, put baseball in. And put your availability in. I'm not available on the 23rd or 4th, but I'm available on every other date. If you don't want to go to a school, put that school in. They will ignore it, but you can at least put the school in if you want. That's availability and conflicts. Next one is exams. So you come down here and you can click on your exam. When you click on the exam, that'll start. It'll give you what I call a radio button for A, B, or C, or D that you got to fill in. Once you fill it in, it'll tell you how you did. So did okay. If you want to look at the answers, the little icon to your right, it'll tell you the answers you put in and if they were correct or incorrect. Okay, so one more trick. If you're missing an exam, you took the exam and hey, it doesn't show up where doesn't show up in the exam history. So you can come up here to this missing exam, this little icon here, and you can click on it, and it'll ask you if you want to sync, and it'll sync your exams, and it'll go out and read everything, and it'll tell. It's going to come back now. Here we go. And it'll fill in any exam that might be missing, hopefully. So the next one in the list, am I a member in good standing? So if we click on member in good standing, come down, your associations and what you're in good standing with. So it's baseball, basketball, football. So if you're not listed here, contact Mike Schramm. Say, hey, I did everything I needed to do, and he will take care of it. So the last one is scheduling. Is your schedule. So this is the most tricky. This is the trickiest one. I gotta get another drink of water. Sorry. So to put your schedule in, you need to come down. One of the most important things is at the bottom is your desired zone. We're zone 3, so you could be zone 2, but we're mostly zone 3. So make sure you have boys, and make sure you put in baseball, because if you put it in under boys basketball, you will not get credit for it. Put it in under softball or football, you won't get credit for it. So I had a couple games. Some of them haven't gone. Some have. So your basic thing is okay. We have a contest date. Oh, school. Let's say Franklin. Okay, so we want to put in what you want, and you want to use their drop down requirement. So if you want to put in Franklin here, and you want to put in Restwood. So make sure you click on their school names they put in, and then say plate umpire and submit a contest. So then we can come down and look at April 1st. Here's the game I just put in. You can put in, you can click on both first base or home plate. So this is the game I did today, Stevenson and Dearborn. So if you want to, it wasn't Crestwood, it was Annapolis. So you can come down, put in Annapolis, submit the contest, and it'll show up here. You want to get rid of it? Oh, it's gone. Does anybody have any questions on what I went through?
Excuse me, Paul.
Yeah, yes, Bob.
Do you want to show the guys the dashboard that they're using now?
Let's see if I can get back there. We're talking this dashboard, right?
Yeah, because it's a great tool.
So again, make sure if you're not, it'll tell you if you're registered. It'll give you this big green check mark. So your rules meetings, if you took your rules meetings, make sure you take your rules meetings. And it'll tell you your baseball stuff is here. So did you do your exams? Are you a member in good standing? Do you have your schedule in? Do you have your availability? And do you have enough ratings?
Thanks. I thought it might be helpful again. That's all.
I think it is too. I think it is too. Anybody else? Okay, it's 10 after 9. So again, if you have anything and you need to call me, leave me a message or text me. If I don't recognize your number, I don't have you in my address book, I won't answer your call because I get enough spam calls. I get plenty of them. So please leave a message or text me and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Have a good
Paul,
season.
Paul, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too. Have a good season. Have fun and make sure everybody else is having fun out there too. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.